Let's play like it today. 1, 2, 3, go!
You know what's unbelievable? I don't have a favorite game memory. There's flashes of games and things like that. My memories are honestly these guys and hanging out. The locker room. The thing that takes me back to game day now is being in the tunnel before we get announced to come out for the game. And you can feel the intensity. You know, you'd have the 12s coming over and you can just feel that. That's my favorite moment. There's no replacement for guys like this. We would spend a lot of time together at Team Snack on Saturday nights before a game, whether it was a home game or away game. You'd have your meetings and stuff, and then you'd have a snack, and we'd sit there till bed check and just make fun of each other, tell jokes, tell stories, remember when, all that stuff, and it was great. It was the best times because other position groups, they'd come in and grab their stuff and be gone and everything, and we'd sit there for the whole time, and that's spending time together is what builds a bond, right?
A lot of people would just go in and grab like a styrofoam to-go container, go back to their room, where we'd post up at a table. A lot of times, the coach that had bed check would be like, "All right, I got you guys." Like, I mean, you know,
Exactly.
and it was only the O-line allowed at the table. And you don't realize it at the take it for granted. Like I got to the next team and I was like, all right, so I'm expecting we're gonna sit there at the first Saturday night snack and it's just me. Everybody's got. Where everybody go?
We don't even necessarily have to talk all the time or be together all the time, but when we are together, it's like old times, and there's an affection you have for guys that you played with.
You know, the offensive line, we're probably the closest group. You know, 10 of us, 9 to 10 of us, maybe 11 of us at the most during a season, and we're probably the most close-knit group on a football team because all the crap from upstairs hits in our room. If something bad happens, if the quarterback throws an interception, you know how many times we saw Gil Haskell, look at this, look, one step, it's a touchdown, but look at this, Chris Gray or whoever, Steve, whatever. We got guys running free for a touchdown. If O-line, if you could just block the guy, of course.
For me personally, you know, come here in '97, and the way, you know, the team was, you know, we had 2 draft picks that year. We had Sean Springs and me. And my first year here, they was calling me a bust because I had a high ankle sprain, so I missed like 4 games, so I couldn't play. So I was like, oh, he's a bust. Who is this guy? Why did you draft him? So you remember stuff like that. You kind of you remember the doubters, or if the Seahawks going to turn it around.
I was just a young guy just trying to learn everything I could. My rookie year, Walt had a high ankle sprain. For some reason, I knew that game was like, someone told me was like, just be ready. It was just the Dolphins. And I was like, I knew I was a chance to play. See Walt go down, I'm watching the whole game. He goes down, I'm like, shit, he didn't get up. Like, he's not getting up. So I come to the game and we're playing, and like, I'm still nervous just trying to get it. First NFL game.
And I was like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Where'd the guy go who was next to me all the time?
So I'm in the game, and it ended up being Dilfer throwing like some kind of post to Jerry Rice. After I looked at it, I was like, man, you know how many times sitting at home I've seen Jerry Rice hit, as a kid, hit a deep post and just run away from everybody, and I'm in the game, and Trent Dilfer throws him this pass, and ended up being the game-winning touchdown.
From the start, it was one wild ride.
Matthew on the quarterback sneak, and he scores. Touchdown Seahawks.
Great team win. You should be proud of this and feel good about it. You know, don't break the chain. Hold on to the guy next to you. He trusts you. You trust him.
I know there were guys, D linemen, that we had played against that came up to me and said they would get so frustrated when you have a group of guys like this that played together for so long. We didn't have to talk during a game. Yeah. Like, we didn't have to make calls. Like, we knew what each other were doing.
These guys were so smart. Like, as a center, you make the calls, but they were so smart and we were so dialed in. All I had to do was call a number.
Yeah.
And by me calling a number, everyone else knew kind of what to do.
And a lot of defensive linemen would, by the end of the first quarter, they'd heard the same call 3 times, and 2 guys would come at like, all right, I know it's coming, or I know which way they're sliding and protect or whatever. We never made a call. Like he said, he would call 58, and we would all know what we're doing.
And sometimes Jonesy and I, we'd have the option to stick or fan. I'd be like, I'm God or whatever. We had some kind of talk. We'd do it before we even got to the line. But
that's
but
what we did.
The guys would always be like, man, we could never get a tell. We didn't know what the hell you guys were doing because you never said anything.
We didn't know what we were doing either. It fell into some
No, but I tell everybody all the time, though, I say, you guys made it easy for me and Sean because you guys knew the offense. So he made it easy for us. So we didn't have to worry about, okay, who they blocking. Like, y'all like, okay, we got the inside. Y'all take care of the
So,
edge.
like, on Wednesday when we're installing the stuff, and Chris and I and Robbie are like, and Walt's got his hood on. Well, you got that? You know,
I'm good, man. I'm good, man.
Dig down. Let's come out hot. Let's win this game. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
What you want, Jones? Octopus?
Yes, sir.
We must be getting old. We got Hutch eating salads.
I know.
You guys ordering chicken. It's amazing Hutch is eating a salad. I almost got my tail kicked for trying to be a nice guy and ordering Hutch a salad one time.
Caesar salad.
About a year ago, I started eating salads, but Walt mentioned Caesar salad and me in his Hall of Fame speech.
Robbie Toback, a special friend and leader. Chris Gray, a true warrior and as tough as they come. Thank you. Sean Locklear for holding down the other side in my position while I was missing camp. Steve Hutchinson, I really enjoyed playing next to you. I promise there won't be any Caesar salad at the private party tonight.
Hutch gets up to go to the restroom. This is one of our away game dinners, and we're all at this table, and we're packed in there. Everyone's ordering salads, Caesar salad, and they're like, "Does he want one?" I was like, "Yeah, bring him salad, whatever, you know." He comes back from the bathroom, walks up to his seat, and he's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Well, it's a salad, man. I ordered just salad. You were gone." He goes, I don't eat salad. And I didn't realize like he doesn't eat salad, you know. So I was like, well, dude, just sit down, eat the salad, man. Order your salad, man. Just eat the salad. I'm not eating it. Then he sits down in his chair and he freaking crosses his arms. He goes, I'm not eating it, and you can't make me. Holy cow, dude! I'm not gonna make you eat the salad. Holy cow, dude!
We got to get a picture.
Yeah, the salad.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
The salad.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Good.
This is classic. You can zoom in on that. That's pretty cool. Look at that.
What?
All right, so on these starting five, they had asked us all these questions individually, and we had to give an answer.
Oh, wow.
So favorite candy bar? Walter Jones. Whatchamacallit?
Whatchamacallit?
Not a whatchamacallit. He just couldn't remember the
That's
name.
a good candy bar, dude. Come on, that's a good candy bar.
My answer was Snicker.
That's easy, man.
Robbie, Three Musketeers. Chris
Easy.
Gray, Mr. Goodbar. Sean Locklear, Butterfinger. Owns how many pair of jeans?
Okay.
Jonesy, 10. I had 6. Robbie had 6.
What?
Chris Gray had 9 pairs of jeans.
Then why did you wear the same ones all the time?
They're all the same.
He just wore them 9 different times. George Strait or Kenny Chesney? Walt's answer, who? Run or pass block? 4 runs and a pass. Who do you think was the pass?
Yeah, heck yeah. You darn.
Alexander in motion to the right side. Hasselbeck. Touchdown!
Matched one-on-one with the NFL's best pass rusher, Walter Jones shut out Dwight Freeney, and the Seahawks proved they were the team with the league's best offense.
Touchdown Seahawks!
You know, when I realized what a stud athlete Walt is, I knew who Walt was, but I didn't know like how good he was or what. I knew he was a first-round pick and this and that. We started talking about who's fast and who can run, and I was like, I can run, and this and that. And Walt decides, hey, let's race. Man, I had my head back. I was running as hard as I can, and Walt was running right beside me, like laughing at me, running. And I was like, God dang, who is this dude?
You can always, I think, if you hit it up inside of Walter, you can get 4.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and positive yards when you run behind Walter Jones.
House Ballard was, the locker next to me. He was next to you, and so I'm talking to House. Like, man, why doesn't Walt doesn't say anything at all, man? What's the deal? He goes, House was just rocking in his locker. You know what I'm saying? Well, he must not like you or something. So I remember I was trying to make conversation with Walt. So I always try to get you to say something. So finally, you said something to the House. You said you were from Alabama. I looked at you and said, Walt, man, I'm from Birmingham, man. He goes, so he just kind of shakes his head. You know, he didn't say a word.
You do that.
And I was like, well, man, I'll tell you what, in the off season, man, I said, man, if you come back to Aliceville, you know, where you grew up, man, I'm in Birmingham in the off season. We can get together. First thing he ever said to me is like, man, why do I want to call you? I was like, whoa,
call you an
why do I want to call you? I was like, okay, all right, he doesn't like me.
I came in the game when it was like more like you had to, you know, you came in, you had to earn your stripes by you playing. So you know, I used to come into like if the linemen are talking like Tez, we talking about it. You come in and you try to say something like, hey, shut the hell up, Rook. Yeah. If I want your 2 cents, I'll give it to you. So I'm like, okay, cool. I just be quiet. Don't say nothing. So
Walt was quiet for a while.
Yeah, he was.
That's one of the things they told me when I came here as a free agent. You know, Walt and Chris were already here, and they said, hey, you know, we got a good group of guys. They're really good guys, but they're quiet. They don't say much. They put my locker right next to Walt. You know, I remember the first day I met Walt. He comes walking in. Walt has this thing with his lip where he puts his bottom lip above his top, and he comes walking in like. And walks by like, man, I don't want this kid next to me, man.
Power. That second step. Wow, that's it.
In our O-line meetings, we sat in the same seats. Like I sat here, Chris Gray sat behind me, Walt sat over here, Hutch sat back there. And I'd always turn around like, year one, Hutch was in his notepad just, just taking notes. I'm like, yeah, the kid's, you know, he's studious, you know, wants to learn the offense and everything. And then year two, you kind of know it, you know, once you've been through it a year. And then year three, you really know it. And he's still just, you know, I'm thinking, God, you know, this kid's like, you know, he's like Peyton Manning, man, just a notebook every week and this, that, and the other thing. So then he signs and leaves and goes to the other team, and they haven't cleaned his locker out yet. And I see his notebook in his locker. I said, you know, I'm going to check that thing out, man, see what he had in there. There might be some good stuff. And I open it up, and there's not one note from any game plan. It's all pictures. It's all pictures like a hamburger, an ice cream
cone. Our coach was Coach Lavaroni.
Coach Lavaroni, like a macaroni. There's a picture of Chris Gray, like, standing on the sidelines looking up at the crowd, and there's like bleachers and everything. I was like, totally random, like completely random stuff. But there was.
I'm not an artist. These meetings, we're in these rooms for hours on end.
Remember when Levant was trying to reset his computer?
We're watching film, and all of a sudden the film freezes. And for like 2 minutes, it freezes. And you hear him clicking, then you hear him hitting the keyboard, the damn thing froze up. And, you know, granted, Tom's never probably used a computer outside of this room.
He decides he's going to go ahead and reset this thing or fix the keyboard or whatever. He's trying to unplug it, and he can't get the plug out, and he can't figure out how to get the plug out.
We're all facing forward because we don't want to help him, because we don't want to watch film. So we're not trying to tell him how to reset his computer. We're not going to give him Control, Delete. He's just like, you hear, so he's sitting back there, he goes, damn, and then you hear, and none of us would turn around and see what the hell's going on. And finally, we turned around. He's taken the cord, the little coily little, it looks like a phone cord. He wrapped it around his hand, and he's got the keyboard in one hand, and he's got the cord in the other. And he's got everything he can. He's trying to, like, thinking that would unplug it so that it would reset it. Oh, my God. And none of us said anything. We're like, rip that son of a bitch apart.
That might be too nice.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. And then Holmgren, like, I loved playing for Mike.
No, I did too, yeah.
I thought he was very fair. What he had to say was always timely. And you knew that he cared about the guys.
That's the nicest thing I've ever said to you, right?
Win, lose, he'd chew our ass when the team didn't perform, and he'd pat us on the back when we did. And I've had coaches that, even when you're doing great, they got nothing good to say to you. That gets old and wears out. And then I've had coaches that, you know, got ran over by guys on the team and stuff. So, and that's, you can't win that way either. So I thought, as far as guys I played for in the NFL, he'd be the top of the list. So.
No, I agree. He was good.
Nobody expected 2005 to be the Seahawks' greatest season. It had been 6 years since Mike Holmgren rode into town with a lofty promise.
Now it's my job to get the Seahawks to the Super Bowl.
We was not that good as a team when Coach Holmgren came in. I thought he did a great job of, hey, if you follow me, if you listen to what I got to say. But he did a great job of bringing guys in that have got to the Super Bowl. Like he brought you guys, LeVon Kirkland, guys that had been to the Super Bowl, Chad Browns, guys that have been in big games. So it kind of helped us, to get ready, guys that could say something to you if you wasn't doing right. So I thought he did a great job of bringing veteran guys in that played a lot of football.
Oh man, he would get mad.
Jiminy Christmas! Holy smokes. Son of a buck. That play, this play, those are the plays we got to make, man.
The Big Show.
The Big Show. How that started? Tell them how that started, the Big Show.
How the Big Show started?
Yeah.
Brian Habib was playing right guard. So Homer's first year, we're over in Cheney, he had this massive sign on the side of one of the buildings there, and it was a picture of him with his finger up saying, "It's now time."
It's now time!
Coach Holmgren, he was a GM, he did everything then. So of course he's got 1,000 plates to, he's got to do a ton of stuff. So he'd come out late to practice every once in a while, and some of the older guys didn't really like him coming out late to practice. And Habib, one day, he comes walking out, actually on his golf cart, and he goes, "Hey boys, here comes the Big Show." And that was it.
Oh, Chris Gray was the nickname guy now.
Yeah, they used to call me, younger, Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman. Jonesy. Jonesy.
BJRTH. He came with a nickname. His childhood, you were cornbread.
Cornbread.
He was always bread.
Yeah, I was trying to get rid of it, but first day I got here, somebody was waiting on me.
Cornbread. We just always called Chris Cree.
Cree.
Southern accent, Cree. Because he had it came from James Daniels, right?
Yeah.
He had a tight end coach in college that would always go Cree.
Cree.
Toback really didn't have a nickname. So we signed Jerry Rice. Right away we go travel. It's like he's only at practice like a day or two. And half of us didn't practice because we're like, we're like, where's Jerry? Did Jerry catch it? It's Jerry Rice, and we're watching him practice. And so we go to the preseason game. The night before the game, we'd have meetings, and then Mike would give literally like a 3-minute speech. Hey, this is what we got to do tomorrow. Let's go. But Mike this time said, we just signed you. He goes, hey, I wanted to let Jerry talk a little bit because I was with him in San Francisco and talk about what it means being, coming together. Jerry gets up there and starts talking. And then granted, he's only been there a couple days, so he's trying to make a connection and this. And he's talking about, Hasselbeck. And you just got to follow the leaders. And the offensive line just kind of sitting there up front. And of course, Robbie's always giving everybody crap, so it's just when he gets it, it's so awesome. It's so satisfying. So we're sitting there, Robbie's sitting next to me, and he goes, you got guys that have been around, done that, been around. He goes, he starts pointing to Robbie. You see Robbie he goes, you see Robbie bow up, like he's going to get, Jerry Rice is going to name it. He goes, we got veterans on this team like Ronnie Topaz. And I was like, and I said, of course, we all do start looking around sarcastically, like,
Who the hell is Ronnie Topaz?
Who the hell is Ronnie Topaz?
He just sat there. Nickname from Jerry Rice.
And he just sat there, chest out, like.
Come on, man. Let's run that thing now a little bit.
We get it back right here. It's touchdown time.
Behind a stalwart offensive line, led by Pro Bowl tackle number 71, Walter Jones. Hasselbeck had the Hawks humming.
A thing of beauty from Hasselbeck to Urban, and the Seahawks take the lead. Holy smokes!
On Mondays after a game, we would do a workout, watch the film, then we'd go out and run.
Yeah, Chris and I are mid-30s. The day after a game, I can bear, you're sore.
Oh, yeah.
And so you would lift weights and you get all warmed up, and then we go to meetings and stiffen up even more, and then they want us to go out and run. And Hutch, 22 years old, like, yeah, coach, let's go. Michigan football, man! So Hutch would just be like, they'd blow the whistle, and by position group you'd run. Beep, beep, beep. And they'd blow the whistle, and it's our turn, and Hutch would just, like Rudy Rudiger, man, just taking off. Hutch, slow down, man. What are you doing? Because there's a tradition in the NFL that you run together.
Yes.
Nobody makes the other guy look bad on a Monday run, right? And Hutch
he was literally
running
40 yards ahead.
Literally just. Hutch, slow down, man.
All right. I've only been here really 2 days practicing, and being first-round pick, they expect you to come in and really get the stuff quick and step up. I'm going to keep working hard and just keep working.
It's like pushing a car. Set! Punch!
The training camps we went through back in the day were pretty dang rough, you know. They were pretty hot out in Sheeny.
1, 2, 3, win!
Best training camp story ever, in my opinion, is my last night of training camp, and I thought it was my best work. We were sitting out in the hallway, and Hasselbeck and Kazavinsky were playing a video game, hockey game on the thing, and Walt kept telling him, Hasselbeck, be quiet, shut up. I'm gonna smack Hasselbeck, I'm gonna smack, you know, talking trash and stuff, and then it's time to go to bed, and I started saying, Walt, man, you're scared of Hasselbeck, dude, because you weren't going to do nothing to him. He goes, man, if I had a key to his room right now, I'd go in and slap his ass. I said, I'll be right back. So I went and got a key to Hasselbeck's room, and I said, here you go, Walt. And he's like, dang. Because he knew he was on the hook. He had to do it, you know, and he went in there. Hasselbeck was asleep by this point. And, hey, Matt, what? Get out of my room, get out of my room. Man, I got to slap you, dude. And then here,
With that big paw.
wow, big old paw, bam.
And then, you know, everything get heavy with the, you know, with the drinks.
Yeah.
What you thought was light almost knocked
You
him
got
out.
him good, though.
He had a mark the next day.
Then the next morning, he had like my handprint across his face. So like,
Matt, I'm sorry I slapped you at training camp. But because I protect the quarterbacks, I have the right to slap the quarterbacks.
See, these are stories I get to hear because we weren't allowed when we were Flores rookies.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys are all older than me.
Chris is the biggest prankster.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was the biggest smartass, maybe, but you were the biggest prankster. Chris had a rubber snake. Used to scare the piss out of Walt, man.
Walt would jump.
Let's just keep getting after him, Marty. Let's keep getting after him. You're doing a great job. We need to score a touchdown real quick.
Sean gets it going, ladies, across the 20. Comes back to the left to 15, to 10, to 5. Touchdown, Seahawks!
The road to Detroit would go through the Emerald City.
Coach just got it with Robbie Tobeck. I don't know that we've ever seen Mike Holmgren hit with a bucket, but Tobeck does it. This is something, folks.
Hey, Steve, we're in the NFC Championship game, partner.
You're a pleasure to coach. I'm inspired by how you play sometimes. This is as fine a team type of effort as I've ever been associated with. You're going to play for the NFC Championship next Sunday right here.
I think my favorite memory of the stadium is the NFC Championship game. I don't know how it gets better than that. I mean, the noise.
The noise for me.
I mean, literally deafening.
To reach the Super Bowl, the Seahawks would have to beat the NFL's best road team, the Carolina Panthers.
No matter where we go as a home game, we finna take this over like we took the rest of them over. All this hollering don't mean nothing. It's our house.
Carolina never grasped the full fury of Apocalypse Now.
This place is actually shaking. The fans will not sit down and they will not be quiet for the next 3 hours.
You could feel the intensity in the place. And I think of all the games I played in and, you know, my time, I was the least nervous for that game, even though so much was on the line, because I just knew when we walked out of that stadium and that crowd and that environment and, you know, just how we all felt, we'd had a good, I knew we were going to win that game. There was that was just a formality to go to the Super Bowl. And that intensity of that game was amazing.
This ain't just another game. This is to put us up, baby. This is for legitimacy. Now let's go. 1, 2, 3. Throwing to the end zone. He's got D-Jack who makes a move. Touchdown, Seahawks. Seattle, you've waited 3 decades. We're all going to the Super Bowl.
All the people who worked so hard and have wanted this so badly for so long, and now you've given it to them.
We gotta talk about this game.
Oh, man. Which game?
The Super Bowl.
And a pleasant good afternoon from Detroit, Michigan, where the Seahawks are set to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl 40. for all of the marbles.
For the first time, the Seattle Seahawks were in the Super Bowl. Nothing could stop them.
Now he fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Except penalties.
Did a flag come out back there?
Pass interference, number 82.
Oh.
Ooh, that was a ticky-tacky call. The ball was short of the end zone, and then he put the ball over the end zone.
Touchdown.
Holding. Personal foul. Block below the waist. Number 8. Y'all seeing this?
I don't know how you call that.
He made a tackle. He tackled him below the waist, Bill Levy. Can't you tackle below the waist? Every time they've made a play, it's been called back.
They cheated us.
Yeah.
I say that. They got us. Can we get our Super Bowl? Jeez.
Hey, the ref agreed.
The next year, I'm obviously in Minnesota.
Oh, you was? What?
Yeah.
Oh, you was?
And we're playing.
Next year.
That's the next year. The next year we have 5 guys going guard that year.
And we're playing a preseason game in Pittsburgh, and the ref was the ref for Super Bowl.
Bill Levy.
Yep. He comes up and he goes,
My bad, guys.
just want you to know, I apologize. We really screwed that up.
Are you serious?
I was like, get out of here.
Well, I got an apology 5 years later at our training camp. Does it help it any better? No, but I appreciate him saying that. But I get it, it's human error, but there was a lot of human error going in there.
Yeah, there was a lot of human error.
You know, what's the crazy thing is, obviously life goes on, but
Right.
I mean,
that hurts.
It does hurt.
Dude,
Yeah,
it hurts
it
losing the
hurts.
Super Bowl.
The magic carpet ride for the Seattle Seahawks ends here in Detroit. But what a year. They fought tooth and nail all the way to the bitter end. This team is going to be around for a while.
So will the 12th man. The Seahawks became the only team to retire a number in honor of their fans.
As a kid, I remember watching Seahawk games and seeing the wave in the old Kingdom and seeing that wave. You know, the wave started up here. And seeing that happen and the noise and the crowd, and they were known for the crowd. And I remember even as a little kid thinking, wow, that'd be incredible to play in front of that kind of crowd. It'd be awesome. And so to actually have a chance to experience it and live it and be a part of it and be the part of that first team that went to the Super Bowl and see the city, what was it? 700,000 people at the parade or whatever it was when we came back, and the intensity of that moment of those guys, those fans, the 12s. I get cold chills still just thinking about it. I feel privileged that I got to play for Seahawk fans.
It's been great for me to be able to play my entire career here. When I first got here, the team was still trying to figure it out, but still, you got a chance to meet those fans that have been diehard since '76. What the Seahawks, as an organization, how they include the fans in a lot of stuff. You go to a lot of events, you get a chance to meet a lot of the fans. I think everybody knows Mama Blue. Well, she's a Hall of Fame fan now. So to get a chance to meet everybody like that, to get a chance that the true fans that know Seahawks football from the beginning. So I call Seattle my home now. So I enjoy coming to the games on Sunday and seeing the fans and seeing their reactions.
Probably the most exhausted I've been in a game. Beastquake, being with Marshawn, that was kind of cool. Just going home and then waking up to all the texts, I was like, this is actually an earthquake happened. So when it put in perspective.
Left side, find a little bit of a hole, keep his legs moving, he's across the 40, midfield, 45, he's on the run, Lynch, 40, pushes him at 35, look at him go, he's down to 20, 15, he could go, he's gonna go, touchdown Seahawks, oh my word, the beast is alive and well.
I'm actually jealous you got to be on the field.
Even though I didn't do anything, easiest play at the hands on the backside, just make sure the end don't match. I did nothing.
So we played the Giants, and I know it's loud. They missed a bunch of field goals and a bunch of offsides.
Fans are making a lot of noise. Now a flag is out.
False start offense number 77.
Flags fly, and it's going to be once again a procedure call on the Giants.
False start offense number 66.
Another penalty.
False start on the offense number 17, number 77.
You really can chalk it up to the 12th man and the noise. And the kick is no good. He missed it. And this is as loud as the Kingdom ever was. Ever. It is short again.
I remember when Jordan Babineau got that, the tackle, we ran on the field because we got the ball and we're running on the field in transition, so the crowd hadn't stopped yet. Man, I remember it felt like my ears were going to explode. It's so loud. I don't know if y'all had me. It was unbelievable.
I was going to say the same thing. That was the game that I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
This place is crazy.
I really appreciated the fans. The 12s, people don't understand how much the fans mean to the team and to the community. It's they do help. They help a ton.
I got spoiled. Well, we all got spoiled being here and true fans. I remember leaving here after year 7, going to 3 other teams, and man, the fans are quick to turn on you if you're not producing. And where our fans, they were loyal all the time. I remember the years we were 4-12 and 5-11, we still had the loudest stadium. Where you go to other places, you're not going to make the playoffs, the fans turn on you quick. So I wish every fan could come to and experience a Seahawks game.
I don't think I truly appreciated how great the fans in this city were until you come to this stadium as an away team. Because your teammates, the first time they hear how loud it is, and they're like, how the hell are we supposed to play a game today? I can't hear anything. Like, what are we supposed to do? And you're like, for me, I was like, well, this is Sunday. It's not like that everywhere else, and it's pretty special.
When you walk around the city, people are ready for football and ready for Seahawks football, and people care. So as a player, you don't let those people down because they care so much. That's the great thing about sports, is that there's nothing that's ever brings a community together like the football team going to the Super Bowl, their baseball team in the World Series, whatever. Because people from different backgrounds, different likes, different opinions, everything, but the one they got a connection, and they're high-fiving. And I've got friends that, guys that I love that I never have otherwise.
We get together now and we have a great time. This is what I miss right here, because you can't find that anywhere. You got other friends that you have fun with, but still, again, they don't know the battles that you went through in practice, in the games, that we all can sit here and have fun. So I miss this time here, hanging together and getting together and just talking about all the good times. Seahawk for life.
Seahawk for life.
Seahawk for life.
You guys are pretty good.